Hi everyone, this is Kelly from Omni WordPress Support. Just going to quickly show you Toggler. It's a WordPress plugin. I assume you already know how to install a WordPress plugin. Okay, so Toggler is really easy to use out of the box. There's no amend page, and I'm going to show you internal and external toggling. There is some more functionality, some more advanced stuff, but I just want to give you a quick start to using Toggler. Toggler essentially is like a light switch. You're gonna click something, it's gonna toggle on and off in action. Generally, how I use it is like this, like the developer's website. Let's have a look. You click on this toggle, and there's some content. All right. So internal toggling. Here's an example. Here's a really long post, and it's actually a three-step process to do something. But people want to see, obviously you'd want to bold your steps and whatnot, but people want to see easy, right? Like if you had it like this, they're gonna go, oh, getting your ClickBank affiliate link. Blah, blah, blah. So this way. People are more likely to actually stay and read your article because it's very nicely formatted, and that's what Toggler is going to do for you. All right, let's quickly back over here. External toggling, you might not use it that often, but it's fun to play with. I'll show you that. So essentially, external toggling, you can have an external target or an external switch. So in this case, on this website, by clicking the header, which is an external switch, and the target's going to be the content you'll see. So by clicking the header, or this background image really, your content disappears. The only thing that was left is the footer. And so by clicking it again, it reappears. So it's just for more creative probably. Also you can have, I'll show you here. So an internal switch with an external target. So I put this one in here quickly just for fun. Sidebars disappears. By clicking this, oh, where did my sidebar go? Okay. So for external toggling, I'll show you the code in a minute, but it's like I said, it's probably for the more creative person, but you could do something like make your Google ads disappear, for your readers, and so they don't have to look at a bunch of ads or something like that, right? Okay, so let's just go through the attributes. Pretty simple. Toggler uses shortcode. It's if you've worked with shortcode, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it's similar to HTML tags. So you have an open shortcode and a closing shortcode. Okay, and so essentially you need to define a switch. So you're going to click on that. This would be the switch, right? And then the target is the content, right? So it's really simple to install. I'm going to show you how to do it. So you have a role, which is a switch and a target. You have a connector. Connector just tells Toggler which target belongs to which switch. Really simple. Inline, if sometimes you're probably not going to use this very often, but you might want to have a switch and a target on the exact same line, and so you need to use this for that to work. Show, essentially show is generally the default is no. So in this case, where this external target and internal switch, usually if you had the default, this would be the default when they came to the web page. But if you want to have the reverse happen when the person comes to the web page, that's where you use the show attribute. All right. So in this case, I had to say show equals yes. Ghost. Best way to show you is to show you. Okay, so say you had a toggle which hid an image. So here Casper, you see Casper can disappear by clicking here. If you have Ghost on yes, then when you were to click this would actually collapse. The page would collapse. By having Ghost equals no, all it does is it leaves a blank spot there. So depends how you like your formatting. Probably better if the content doesn't collapse, but It's entirely up to you. All right, so and then the last attribute was ext, which is for external elements, and I'll just show you that when we quickly do the external. So not to make this a long tutorial, here is the one with no toggles installed, and here's the one with toggles. So let's look at the code. So just go inside and edit it. Okay. And biggest thing to really make note of, and I stress this, is work in your visual tab. Toggler works to, it's hard because everyone has different CSS, and so people have, margins and padding, and so just to make Toggler work, you need to work in your visual tab, okay? So if you have any weird formatting or extra spacing that you don't like when you update your post, you are probably working in HTML. Switch to visual, you're going to get your best results. All right, so because I don't want to type it out, I've already put it over here. Copy. All right, so go to the front here. Put this. So your first one here, just put it on its own line. So you want to make sure your switch, this is your switch content, you want to make sure it's starting on its own line, and the same thing goes for target. You see how it's starting on its own line. So put the toggle on its own line here. Just to quickly explain it. So this is your first one, it's your switch, right? So toggle role equals quotes around switch, and then connector, this can be anything, all right? I'm going to change it just to show you. So I'm going to change it to step 1. It can be anything. It's just your switch, this needs to equal or be the same as your target. So I'll just show you better just to see it visually happen. So I cheated and put this over here. So we're going to copy that. Okay, we're going to put it at the end here. So I'm just going to space this out so you can just see what I did. So here's your switch, and here's the open toggle, and here's the close toggle. So now your switch is surrounded by shortcode, all right? And then you'd need to surround your content with the shortcode. So here's your open. You could put it on its own line. I generally put it right behind that close. All right, target role equals target connector in page. So this is wrong now because I changed it to show you, right? So now you got to put that step 1. All right, be anything. No, actually don't use the word default. But it can be anything. Just has to match to your switch, and your target need to match. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to have to do is tell it where the end of the target is. So just do a slash toggler. All right, and that should work. Cross our fingers. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, so let's have a view of the page. And voila, there you go. Okay, so for internal toggling, you just do that for each of those. So you would end up having it look like this, right? Okay, perfect. External toggling. So here I click this, and this makes the sidebar disappear. So this is an internal switch, and that's the external target. And it's the exact opposite in this one. This is the external switch, and this is the internal target. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the code. Let's go into this one. So the code goes into your post. Okay, you're not having to go into your sidebar and do anything. No code goes over there. So in this case, internal toggling, there was always a switch. And there was always 2, right? There was the switch, and you closed it, and then there was the target, and then you closed it. Okay, where's the close? There it is, and you closed it. So for external, you don't have that, all right? Because you're only putting the code in the content, but you just have to give it a little bit more information. So here you go, toggler role equals target, okay? And your target is ext, and you have to put in an ID. This is a div ID, and so if you don't understand what a div is, you might need to do a little bit more research to use external toggling. So this can either be a div or a class, and my sidebar 1 in thesis, it's called sidebar 1. I think it's if I wanted to make both if I had 2 sidebars in thesis, then I know the div ID is actually sidebars, but that's just from using thesis for a long time. And then you see I have a connector here, and if I only have one external toggle, I don't need that. But if I was to add a second external um, target or a second external switch, it's going to get confused if you don't have a connector. So this can be anything really. This could be connector 1, right? And then, so if you were to set up another one to do some more functionality, you just want to separate it so Toggle knows, okay, these don't, these aren't connected to each other. Kind of confusing. You'll see it if you put it into action. I'm only doing the one for today. I want to make this short as possible. So just to show you the code. All right, and so in a very basic, you wouldn't even need this connector. So I'm just going to prove that to you. Just get rid of it. If you're only doing one external, you can just do this. And so this is for an internal switch and an external target. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any need for any other tutorials, go ahead and send us an email at support@omniwordpress.com. My name is Kelly. Have yourself a great day.